बाकी काय प्रॅक्टिस जोरात. This is the first time I'm at the right time at the right moment. क्योंकि इसके पहले मैंने if you know diamond lens, this, that, everything was new. Nobody could implement whatever I'm offering. Scleral lenses अभी भी बहुत कम जन करते हैं. Ortho Keratology. Now I think this this everybody can do it. आप देख लो. Yeah, madam. Yeah. Yeah. Come. नाही हा नाही आतमध्ये आला तर चालेल. असं काय फक्त ऑप्टोमेट्रिस्टने शिकलं पाहिजे असं काय. हा शुअर. See, whenever I visit India, I do some or the other thing. बरोबर. हो आता माझं हैदराबाद झालं, चेन्नई झालं, आता कलकत्त्याला 2 आहेत, सुरत, अहमदाबाद, वडोदरा आणि अहमदाबाद. लेन्स मॅडम पण तर ते आपल्याकडे कसं हातात घेऊन टच अँड फील केल्याशिवाय आपल्याला हे नाही होत. Whatever we are talking is going live. Come माझ्या बेटा. नाही एक्सप्लेन तर करणार ना, पण आता बघून काय. हा नाही दिस इज ऍक्च्युअली कसं आहे ना, हे जे आहे ना, आपण बायफोकल चष्मा कसा असतो काच, तर हे 360 डिग्री बायफोकल आहे. दिस इज 360. गुड. प्लस 6 ऍडिशन आहे, म्हणजे तिथे वरती -2.5 आहे, तर ते मला वाटतं 3.5 असेल. तेवढं तर आपल्याला समजतं. ते कशाला का वगैरे ते दॅट विल गो थ्रू द प्रेझेंटेशन, सो यू विल अंडरस्टँड. दिसते का मॅडम? दिसतं का? ठीक आहे. You can design a treatment and then get it ordered from. So this is what I'm trying to do. Is it is not a ready-made spectacle or anything, like when customized. It is a treatment that you are offering. Okay, it is not a product that you are selling. Unlike the contact lenses, when it started, now they will come to you, take every proper measurements and get the prescription, and then next time they will go to any optician and get it done. So this won't happen with this. That is what the. So let us start. Okay, ठीक है ना. Now मुख्य अतिथि. You are the chief guest today, right? Those who are watching online on YouTube, Madam Kunda Ganatra is here with us, right? That's an honor. So without any further ado, we'll start. and then we'll have more time for a discussion, right? Next. So, of course, now everybody knows what is pandemic and epidemic. So, pandemic is now a common word. Epidemic is little lesser, but now that is also goes into that kind of stuff. So, one of the paper came out of Brian Holden Institute, uh, talked about, they calculated some data and predicted that by 2050 the 50% of whole world's population will be myopic. So there is an urgent need to do something. 50% is big number, and that is a myopia. Of course, all are not high myop. Out of that, 10% is high myop. So still, it is like a 10% of the, you know, whole world. Like 5% of the whole world is myopic, high myopia. High myopia means there are so many other complications. You know, eye morbidities, glaucoma, cataract, detachment. So that is why it is an important subject, and we being the forefront of the eye care, you are the first one to, you know, interact with a patient. So you should know what is what, and you are selected to be in that profession. So it is moral responsibility also to guide your patient in correct direction. If you can't solve it, you can refer it to, like what we are doing, right? If you diagnose cataract, what we do, we refer to the ophthalmologist. So same thing, but first of all, you should know what is what, right? And after this COVID, since last, you know, few years, nobody could go out. Even the children were on the mobile phone. Even the schooling, even today, I guess everything is closed. Yeah. So that may have triggered that instead of 2050, I think that will be too early. Like 2030 also, you will see a lot of changes happening. So who are the eye care practitioners? Basically, opticians, optometrists, and ophthalmologists. Opticians, of course, will tackle with the spectacles, multifocal lenses, ortho keratology, and spectacle comes into optometry domain. And you know, ophthalmologists are already practicing atropine, right? And of course, now they can enter into the spectacle, like the myopia or other specialty lenses that they can design depending on their patient's need. So of course, you have to get educated, keep, you know, undergoing your training program certification. You may need to upgrade your equipment. Like if you want to practice orthokeratology, you have to upgrade with topographer. Like if you remember when Bosch and Lum came, uh, most of the people have a Burton lamp, right? We used to practice contact lens, but Burton lamp. Not many people had of you know, slit lamp. So it made a mandatory for, if you want to practice contact lenses, you should have a slit lamp. So similarly, orthokeratology, if you want to practice orthokeratology, you must have a minimum topographer is required, right? Because you are changing, altering the shape of the cornea. So you should know what is happening on the cornea, right? And of course, that will pay off with a, you know, respect, with a standing out in the community, and you know, loyal patient base. So here we are talking about axial myopia. Okay, there are so many variety of myopias. If it is a regular myopia less than -3, you know, not much of a problem. But we are talking about a high myopia or a progressive myopia. What is progressive myopia? The axial length elongation happens, and that can change the whole, you know, issues with the myopia. Now, this is a very bold statement I'm making: is single vision is equal to myopia progression. Okay, we have been giving single vision lenses. You know, whatever patient comes in, you prescribe, that's it. Okay, but this I'm talking about less than age 12 or 13. If it has been proven, if the myopia starts less than puberty, then it is a progressive myopia. The earlier it starts, severe it becomes. Okay. If the myopia happens after 14, then 13, 14, then you may be little relax and check and monitor if it is like going too fast or whatever. If it is less than 12, 13, then definitely you have to, you know, take it aggressively. So this is what I mean. Now, why I mean this, I'll explain. Okay, because everybody, even we used to prescribe single vision glasses. Even today, we are prescribing, right? But why I'm saying that, you should understand. So if we look at this is a myopia. So you know, image is focusing in front. You put a lens, or if you do under correction, this is what is happening. It is called image shell. Whatever the image forms because of that lens, spectacle lens is straight, right? It is not a curve or anything. See, with contact lenses, it is matching the curvature, right? This is now straight lens. So we are talking only in the center. So that's why patient can see clearly. But if you see the vertex distance here, it is more. If it is -3, it is 3.5 effective power. Okay. So that is what is causing the hyperopic defocus. There are three words I want you to learn now: hyperopic defocus, myopic defocus, and axial length. Axial length now we know. So whenever the focusing is happening behind the retina, we call it a hyperopic defocus. So when you put this lens, the fovea is getting sharp and clear image, but the peripheral defocus happens out of the eye. That is a hyperopic defocus is happening. Okay. Now what happens? Why that? So at the peripheral retina, there are cells that send signal to the brain how much to grow. So it is called emmetropization process, right? So this is hyperopic defocus. To make that myopic defocus, what you need is a two focus, right? One is for sharp and see, distance clear, and the periphery to control the myopia progression. You understand? So that's why there is a bifocal. Okay. Now, so using that theory, we have created this 360-degree bifocal. So center will give a sharp and clear vision, and periphery will give a plus or positive power dose. Okay. In terms of medicine, we say 5 gram, 10 gram. So it is a dose dependent, right? Depending on the condition, weight, age, they will decide how much percentage to start, like metformin or whatever. So here also now you are deciding how much is the problem, what is the severity, and you decide the positive power dose to control that myopia. Okay, we'll go slowly. So now we have introduced another term called positive power dose. Okay, with this you can have up to +6 diopters of addition, starting from anything 0.5, 0.75, 1, 1.5, anything. So this particular paper talks about emmetropization, how and what happens, the sunlight exposure, the close work, all those factors. There is a gene expression happens at the peripheral retina that decides how much eyeball should grow. Okay, and that is why that peripheral defocus is important. Al Smith is one of the optometrist, research scientist, doing a lot of research on animals. So this was his famous slide, and that made whole world think about this defocus. So what they did is they used some, a segment of plus and minus power, and they observed the development of the chicken's eyeball. And if there is a particular only in one meridian, if you do a defocus, positive or negative, that is hyperopic or myopic. If you do hyperopic defocus, only that much area grows, more than a standard growth. And if it is like a negative defocus, then it will shrink. So this is only what they did is only in one meridian they did it, so that that is what the first paper came in. And second thing what they did is they cut off the optic nerve and see, because whether it is the central foveal cells are important or peripheral. So even after cutting the central optic nerve, still they found the same effect. That means peripheral retina is important for emmetropization. So this is one of the paper which talks about gene expressions, and there are about 168 genes responsible for the eye growth, and that will decide how much the eyeball should grow in what direction, how. So, as an optometrist, we have been doing regular refraction, right? And many times we find that the corneal curvature you know doesn't match with the actual cylinder. So that is what we just say, it's a lenticular astigmatism. We never thought of we think, okay, yeah, so right, we thought, okay, lens may be little tilted or these and that, but actually we never thought that the peripheral retina will be in that shape. That is what is happening, right? They did another study on a monkey, because monkeys are more close to the human beings. Okay, that chicken is like, okay, it's a animal, but how many genes? So same thing they did here. They did a monkey, one eye +5 and another eye minus, other set of monkeys with -5. So here the normal eye where there is nothing, that is a control eye. That means this is going to grow whatever the environmental factors happens, and the plus will induce, the myopic defocus. And when they put minus 5, it will induce hyperopic defocus. And they found that whenever there is a hyperopic defocus, the eyeball length is increased more than a fellow normal eye, whereas in myopic defocus, it actually was shrunken. It was controlled and could reduce in the length. They have given a lot of genes, and what are the expressions. There are particular genes which are responsible for atropine. Okay, so that also is mentioned. If you are interested, go into that. All those papers are available on myokido.com. There is a reference. There is a page called reference, and all the references are there. If you go through all the references, you will become master in myopia management. Okay, but I strongly advise at least open that, go through their methodologies, what they did, and the results and conclusion. This is the actual slide of the elongated eyeball. Can you see the stretched eyeball? Okay, so there is every structure gets stretched. Okay, this is just to show you image of a OCT angle closure. Because of the stretch, the angle is closed, and that can lead to glaucoma. The shape, stretch, all that thing happening on the eyeball is going to cause early cataract. If the cataract happens at the age of 70, 75, no problem. But if it happens at 50, 55, it's concern. Of course, cataract can be treated, but still, it's a not a natural vision. And at the age of 50, 55, when you are at the peak of your profession, your life, and suddenly you are threatened with the vision loss, glaucoma, irreversible damage. You have to keep on putting the drops for whole life. Yes, because it's a silent killer, right? Peripherally, you don't know, and cataract, at least you can't see. So let us go to eye care practitioner. Here they don't know what is happening. Myopic maculopathy, retinal detachment. Okay, surgeons can fix it anatomically. They can correct it. But what about vision? We have seen many of retinal detachment patients, they don't come to 6 or 20/10. There is always a compromised vision. So, and always there is a threat of repeated uh, uh, you know uh, damage. So this is just one statistics which talks about if there is a up to minus 3.5 diopters, it is 2.1 times more likely to get a cataract. About 5 diopters, 3 times, and if it is more than 6 diopters, 5 times more likely that person will get a. No, no, this is a cataract happening at the age around 50, 55. Early. See, we are talking about making a nice future for our kids or our whole world. Okay. What is future? Definition of future is whatever you do today is going to define your future, right? Whatever this is, like you took a decision to come to this place. Okay, so that was the decision, and this is so now this is happening. So you have to, why you have to understand this, because this is a precious time you can do something for the kids. Once they are either, then you can't do much. Okay, after 18, 20, it's gone. So that's why you have to understand what are the complications, because unless and until, why do you buy the LIC? You don't know, but there is something that can happen, so let us take a precautionary measure. So same thing, this is what prevention is better than cure. So you are trying to understand and try and take, because we are into the profession. That's why you have to understand and learn. Yes, this is what can happen. Now tomorrow, I'm sure in another 10 years, when the science, everything is proven, it will become a standard of practice. What is standard of practice? If you don't give bifocal or some kind of myopia control treatment to your kids, they will sue you because you have not taken proper care. Correct? So this is, of course, these are early times, but that is what we are here for. Now this is, I compare this to cigarette smoking. It is that severe. 10 years before, there was not much, everybody was smoking anywhere, inside a house also. Now people realize that no, smoking causes cancer, it can cause cardiovascular disease, it can cause strokes, so a lot of complications. And now there is a ban, there is a warning sign on a cigarette pack, right? That it is, of course, then it is up to you what you want to do. So same thing with a single vision. Whenever now the child comes to you, it is yours. You have to warn them this is can happen. See, it is up to them ultimately whether to go for a your treatment or just continue with what then, but you have made them, it's called informed decision. Okay, we take an informed consent before you start this treatment. So you inform them this can happen, and now it's up to you. If you want to go with the treatment, we'll go ahead. Like, people get diagnosed with a diabetes. People say, no, no, nothing happens to me. Okay, some people are serious, they go and get the treatment start. Some people, no, no, it's okay, we'll see. Right. So, but it is your responsibility to tell them, hey, this is what it is. Okay. So there are a lot of risk factors, genetical risk factors, working clothes, one parent myopic, both parent myopics. So it is like, this is going to happen. It is like in your genes and in your environment. We have seen a lot of myopia happens in urbanized situation than in a villages because they have a lot of exposure. Their day starts early. The day also ends early. Unlike yes, so all that thing matters. And so what I say, it's just a routine in layman's term. So this is the slope. Okay, the child is on a slope depending on what are the risk factors. More risk factors, more the slope. So what happens is he's in a car with a no brake. So if there is a more slope, it is going to go start sliding, and then the speed will increase as it grows, right? So what happens is like imagine you are driving a car. Okay, if you are driving at say 80 mile an hour or 70 mile an hour, if you put a brake, it is not going to stop immediately. It will go a little further and stop. But if you are at a 20 or 10, then it will stop maybe little, immediately. So this is what you have to understand and then predict whether you guarantee them the myopia control now or it will, progress. Maybe you continue this, but after 6 months or 1 year, it will still progress and then it will stop or, will have a minimum. Yeah. So all those factors depends on their risk factors. Okay. So we have Chawan Muscati Jethani myopia risk factor calculator, which you can use, and that will help predict or understand how much severe it is. So, you understanding this defocus theory, there are multiple devices with bifocal. Like we started with a regular bifocal, cryptop bifocal. Now you don't want a cryptop because it is easily available. The technology is already there. Bifocal, executive bifocal, or progressive addition lenses. Actually, the regular bifocal or executive bifocal has more zone so that it is more effective than progressive addition because progressive addition will slowly progress. But we have been correct. So we are used to selling that for a premium price, right? So that's why it took popularity. But since 2005, people, at least the pediatric ophthalmologists have been practicing bifocal lenses. Even I still remember that time I never was in a myopia control. Dr. Mir Kotari, he used to refer his patients for some other reason, but then I realized that, or some of my fellows, they used to work with him, and even in conference he was talking about bifocal. What? For children's bifocal, we don't understand what is happening. Why go bifocal? Now that is proven, right? They started atropine, and of course you could control with atropine. So now it is lot of papers out there and proving that theory, and it is now become a mainstream science that yes, defocus theory, myopic defocus will definitely have an influence on the growth of the actual lens. So soft contact lenses is little more advantage because it has more 360-degree effect, full periphery. So here you have to have a center distance and periphery plus. There are bifocal contact lenses available in the market for presbyopia. They won't work. People have tried and sometimes it has worked. But if you really want to, target that peripheral defocus, then you should have a center distance and periphery plus. Okay, so there are some designs available in soft also. And Ortho Keratology is, see, I've been practicing ortho care since many years, so my confidence with that is more. And why? Because it has more, the reverse zone causes +6 or in that, very high plus power dose. Now I recall about 10 years back, I got this technology here, started giving lenses to everyone. One of the doctor, I think Dr. Rekha in Salem, ophthalmologist, but doing a lot of RGB contact lenses, and she was, one of my major uh, practitioners, Ortho Keratology. One fine day, like after 2 3 years, she called me, Chandrashekhar, this one particular child, myopia is still progressing. I said, what? I never gave you for myopia control because that time that concept was not there. I gave you for a cosmetic reason. No, 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 no. All my children are not progressing. Only this particular child is progressing. So something wrong with your lens. So I said, then I started digging into what is happening, and there are a lot of papers, not many that time, but a little bit trickling of the scientific papers coming into the market because that time there are question about orthokeratology itself, whether it works or not. See, I started my orthokeratology with Dr. Kunda madam. Yes, you remember, no? Long time. In that time, we had no ortho, like a topographer, nothing, but we used to give flatter lenses. Huh? Yes, so there are a lot of, but now it is a proven science. Now we know exactly how to design and guaranteed results. So what you basically need is, of course, defocus theory. Then you can give up ortho K or soft contact lenses, healthy eating habits, sunlight exposure. See, the sunlight exposure helps to delay the onset of myopia. Okay, like as I said, if onset happens less than 13, there is a high chance of high myopia. So if you can push it like beyond 13, 14, 15, it will help. So that is where the light and the onset of the natural light, the daylight exposure comes into play. So main focus is again, the theory is hyperopic defocus is going to increase the shape of the eyeball, and myopic defocus will try and limit or control the progression. This is one of the paper that summarized all these things. Like if you give undercorrected, we used to give undercorrection. We don't know. Still, there are some ophthalmic things that it is undercorrected, which is not true. You have to give full correction because that is what. Yes, gas permeable contact lens again doesn't work. It's single vision, all single vision. Outdoor time effective till the onset happens. Okay. Then bifocal or multifocal, yes, it works. Okay, significant, clinically significant. Executive bifocal also around 39% control it shows. But that time they never checked about actual elongation. Orthokeratology works about, in this particular paper they say about 54% reduction in actual length elongation. Okay, myopia control 86%, but actual length elongation almost 45%. So it works. Bifocal contact lenses also works. Anything between 50 to 81 depends on what design and what addition lenses you are using. And of course, it also controls the axial length elongation because it is causing a myopic defocus. Okay, that's why these are working. Atropine works definitely, but it doesn't have much of an effect on axial length elongation. Myopia control, yes, it works. Axial length elongation, not that much. Correct, correct. Yeah, but the eyeball happens in such a way when the growth, the corneal curvature also will change according to the shape. Okay, that is what the nature does. The natural eyeball is not a spherical; it's a spherical. Okay, why? Because to compensate that peripheral defocus naturally. But now once that disturbance happens, okay, now the myopia has set in. If the child is not correcting anything with spectacle or contact lenses, then the nature is still working on its own course of emmetropization. The moment you put in that minus glass, you pushed it. That's why my first slide, single vision is equal to myopia progression. Okay, you have to do something, otherwise the child won't see clearly. But there are children who not use regular glasses. I was talking with I think last Sunday there was a meeting with pediatric ophthalmologist of India, and Dr. Mir himself was talking about his own, child, and because every ophthalmologist is concerned about what to do, right? Because they are into specialty and they don't know how to control. So he is, of course, one of the example. It is not proven because it's only one of a kind. So of course, the child is using glasses but not regularly, so that may also affect the how it progresses. yes, but it depends on where is the focus and how much is the power and all. So this particular paper, so about 443 individuals is coming from China, of course, because China is almost 80% myopic population, and they are aggressive also. Unlike us, means they can take, like, there was one, like the first study, the Donald Tan, of course not China, but Singapore, they came with this atropine study. Uh, they could put only in one eye atropine and left eye no, as a, like I showed in monkey. Okay, in monkey, but they did it on human beings. Only in one eye atropine and one eye no atropine. Can you do that here? No. To study the control. So they can go, yeah, so they can go up to that extent to do all these things, because it's a national problem. It's the whole country is suffering, so that's why they could do it. So this particular paper shows that the early onset of myopia, there is a high progression. They become more high, myopic. So this particular paper talks about that, and here they have even chosen twins for study, and they could plot this, that yes, the early onset guaranteed high myopia, that kind of stuff. Okay, so this particular design has become very popular. They came up with all these FDA approval things and all, Cooper vision, this my site. Okay, center distance, periphery near, again there is a minus zone, then again plus zone, and up to 59% average myopia control, they could claim. This is what the design is: center distance, then there is a plus ring, then minus, then plus. So they say about anything between 25 to 72%. It depends on so many. See, the same design won't work for everyone, because everybody's eyes are different, their environment is different, their reason of progression is different. So that is where I am coming, like I am giving you a control to design your, positive power dose. Here it is a fixed power dose. So that's why they found a change from 25% to 72%. There are some other contact lenses available in the US market with a very variable, results. But you have to understand the center distance and periphery near is what you want. The Specialized, one of the companies who can customize it for you. The zone also can be customized. The positive power also can be customized. Of course, it becomes a little expensive, but there is a company who can customize the soft lenses if you want to use. This is generally what are the lenses available with bifocal lenses, but problem with that is nothing is more than plus 3 diopters or 3.5 diopters is the max they say, but usually there are universal designs, like all soft contact lenses 14.2. Will it work? No, you need sometimes 13, you want sometimes 14.5, but this is what is available, so we are prescribing. So my site works good, and this is how it works. Same thing, it creates a myopic defocus. There is one more paper on that I want to discuss. Um, let's go a little more into orthokeratology. So it is like a lens or a mold that you wear in the night, go to sleep, morning you remove it, you see clearly. So 24 hours with that mold also you can see, and without also you can see. So it's a 24 hours sharp and clear vision. The child's confidence increases, cosmetically it looks good, and it gives more plus zone, and that is why the progression is controlled with this. So the principle of that is a push and pull. So whenever you must have, now when you wear a ring or something, you see that there is a depression happen. Like when you remove this mask, you'll see a line. Okay, so what has happened is it's getting pushed, and so some cells will get swollen, some will get pressed, and it will create an artificial shape, and that is what they use in LASIK, right? They will actually cut it. Here it is a reversible, so once you stop it, it will come back. So that started for cosmetic reasons, and then now it has become a treatment for myopia control. Only the difference here is, for myopia control we keep that target zone smaller, because you want that uh, plus to happen. Yes. For adult, when we give, we keep about 6.7 or 7.6 zone, so that he should not get any distortion when he is driving, because when the pupil is dilated. Whereas we want that distortion for myopia control, because children are not going to drive and they will not complain about distortion and all. Okay, because they will get used to it within 10 days, 15 days. The, yes, and the brain also will take the sharper image, right? The brain won't take a distorted vision. Even in right and left eye, she's a vision therapist. She knows better. So better, because whenever there is a difference, whatever is the sharp and clear vision, the brain will take that. That's why the amblyopia and other things come in, but the patient don't complain because okay, I'm fine. It is clear. So this is how so this is what the red ring, which is a plus zone, and that can be now controlled with the actual design, and you can increase or decrease the power dose. So this is how it looks. I mean, so fluorescein, but fluorescein is not to means final diagnosis. You have to check the topography image. Yeah, because sonography, I mean, the fluorescein will change, but the topography will give you the correct shape change. And this is what you see: the central 5 millimeter. You want that peripheral defocus to happen, and this is the concept of plus power dose. Okay, more the plus power is going to pull in more. You understand that concept? Okay, so if your plus power is up to here, it's less pull. If it is too much in, then it is more pull. So that is what you calculate your dosage. This is 1 year some study talking about axial length elongation. So control group showed point, this is up in 1 year, okay, 0.41 mm of growth with 0.01% atropine. This is 0.36. So higher the dose, more control. Okay, this is what is shown. Ortho Keratology, this is a control 0.37, and with the ortho so it is almost equivalent to the uh, above. And this one only comparing with ortho and 1.01%, so it is definitely working more. So atropine is guaranteed, it is working. Only issue with atropine is you have to stop every 2 years. As an optometrist in India, you are not allowed to practice, so you should have ophthalmologist along with you to prescribe that and monitor that. Okay, but it can be done. And those are other things. So there are a lot of other companies. That's why you need a you know uh, partner in crime. so, so, so better, because ophthalmology understand and they are responsible. They know how to stop, how to change, how to do. So that is where you can have that. See, more the percentage, the problem is you may need addition glasses because of the accommodation loss. Okay, so that's why you have to start with low dose. But the higher the dose, it works better. So, of course, in India, this company has introduced, Antod has introduced in India 0.01%. And that works. That is the most minimum dose, and it definitely works. You can increase the time, like instead of one time a day, you can increase twice a day. You can do it 3 times a day. Like that, you can alter it. So it is easily available and should be practiced. Um, High dose atropine, there is one theory people have tried just 1% atropine once in 15 days or once in a month. That is also possible. That's what. See, it works, but how much percentage? That depends, right? But there are theories, there are some papers. People have tried that, But if you use 1%, then the dilatation happens, the accommodation is gone. So all those other issues. Gone. Focus. Yes. Yeah. So this is for people who like when 0.1% is not available, they are not compliant. There are so many other things. So at least you should do something. Yes. So correct. So you decide these are all options available, and then has to be customized for that particular situation, right? And it is not only the child; it's the parent, the whole family. Okay, because they are the one who are going to do that. So everybody has to be on your side, or they should understand that this is what we have committed to and we have to do it. Yes. Yeah. So first of all, you have to understand the risk factors. So this is what the calculator I'm talking about. Uh, if you are on my group, it's basically Excel sheet. So you keep on adding, numbers here, 111, and it will give you the total. And if it is like up to 6 or 7 points, then it is minimum. 7 to 12 is mid zone, and then 12 and above, it's a high risk. So depending on that, you decide how much addition to give, how aggressively you should start. Plus, you have to consider the age, you have to consider, the compliance, and then you decide your this thing. So start early, consider all the factors: time outdoors, myopia, parental myopia, close work, how much time they spend on close work. Now, why close work is important? Because when you look at a distance, the image which is falling on the retina is usually within the retinal limits. But when you do a close work, the image which falls, the peripheral image goes out of. So it causes hyperopic defocus, and that is the reason the myopia starts more, because the closer work they do, the image, the peripheral, we saw that the peripheral retina will send a signal that you want to grow, and that is why the close work time is important. Lighting condition also is important, because if there is a dim light, what happens? The pupil, dilates. The more pupil dilated, more peripheral hyperopic defocus. If you have a smaller pupil, the peripheral, it's more sharper image, right? So that's why you have to increase the lights in the room. Food habits, of course, the whole body works on, food. Uh, Start early, basically. Whatever, the moment you realize, you should start something. Okay. So why I'm saying 4 to 12 is that is the most important age that will decide the future. After 12, 13, you can still give this bifocal spectacles, but I would say switch over to ortho keratology or multifocal soft lens, because by then they have become cautious of their appearance, cosmetic, this, that, right? So that's where you can switch over. But you can give at 18 also. There's no harm, because there are cost and so many other factors involved. Compliance also is important, right? Some parents may not agree, or some children are not that compliant with the hygiene, because whenever you wear contact lenses, you have to consider all the infections and other issues also. Monitor action length. Okay, now again coming back to this, our technology. Now every optometrist should monitor axial length. I know you don't have that A scan with you, right? But you can always send it to nearest ophthalmologist and get it done. They will charge, but they will help you with monitoring, and you also know, hey, this is what has happened, right? So actual, why, see, number increase is actually not a problem. You can get a LASIK done or put a contact lens, no problem. What we are worried about is the actual lens, because that is going to cause all those complications, myopia morbidities. So that is where you monitor. So K1, K2 refraction, actual lens must to note down and follow up every 6 months, every 1 year, what is happening. Okay. In Mumbai, luckily, there are some outside agencies. You call them, they will come to your clinic, bring their instruments, do all this checkup. Yes, yeah. Actual length, OCT, everything they will do it. Yeah. So that is good if you don't want to refer. So they can come to you and do even a topography they can do at your place. Okay. So that is also possible. I used to do, I always try to do it with some ophthalmologists, because, yeah, what happens is they are expert in their own sense. And second thing is they realize, oh, this is working. So their other patient also, they will refer to you. That's the advantage. Okay. The dual therapy. So combining the bifocal or myopic defocus with atropine works much better. And it must be done if the child is at a high risk. Okay, and it has to be used, because we know atropine works, so why not use it to our advantage? along with the defocus theory. So basically, this is what the electromagnetic waves of light we are trying to modify to our advantage. There are some softwares available online which talks about how much myopia can progress, because you have to convince the parent also. So this is again, Brian Vision Institute has a free calculator online. You can put in the age of the child, prescription of the child, and it will predict how much it will grow till the age of 18. And if you do some kind of a myopia control, then how much reduction it can happen. So this will just give an idea what you are trying to achieve with that. Of course, healthy foods is important for healthy body and healthy mind. Daylight exposure is important. As I said, illumination is important. How much close you go, make the child go little further away. It won't happen because, okay, when you scold, they'll go like this, and then slowly they will go close. So you have to monitor that. The habits, you how the child develops the habit. You are the one who puts that, right? You are the one who gives the mobile phone when he's crying. You say, okay, let us give you pizza, let us give you this. So then, correct. So it depends on you how you want to monitor. So give some kind of a bifocal or progressive 360 addition glasses like Myopia or any other brands. Multifocal soft contact lenses, Ortho Keratology, low dose atropine, right? Try and encourage them to spend more time outdoors, right? Swimming or some sports or something which will stimulate their natural growth. We know when you go in sunlight, the vitamin D is produced. Right? See, we are shying away from sunlight, and then there are a lot of other problems comes in. So posture, indoor lighting, habits. So children are our future. So these are the options that we have: executive bifocal, PAL, bifocal, and 360 bifocal. There are some other companies also in the market because everybody realized defocus theory works. So they have a lenslet of diffusion in a ring fashion. Now again, these works up to 62%. That's what they say. Okay, because again, this is a fixed design. So any myopia, you only one design. So there will be some children may not have to, they may have 25%. Some will have to 62%, up to 62% is what they say with their practice, their studies, because there is no customization, but it works. Okay. Then the Hoya has a honeycomb shaped dims that defocus, same thing, starts with 9 mm to 12 mm. So it works again because of the hyperopic defocus, but you cannot customize it. The another problem that I see is, okay, you will take all the precautions and measures and everything and give the lenses. When the time comes to change, they will go to the nearest optical shop. They already have prescription. They will change it. So these are the limitations of that. Zeiss also has. Zeiss is the pioneer in the optical industry, right? They also have variety of designs. Still, it is not available in India, but they do have a variety of designs for myopia defocus. Now, this was the paper that actually I got influenced and started working on that theory, where they same thing, like they use it in mice. Fresnel prisms they use minus and plus, -5 and +5. When they use plus Fresnel prism, so the eyeball actually, what they did actually on the same eye, that is a control eye, in one eye they used say -5. The eyeball elongation started. On some minds, what it did on the same eye they put +5, and the same eye started retarding. So that was funny, but that proved the theory that it works. The defocus theory guaranteedly works, and this is nutshell. One slide, like single vision doesn't work, refractive surgery doesn't work. Okay, time outdoor works, atropine works, peripheral defocus, addition lenses, progressive lenses, prismatic lenses, myopia, uh, orthokeratology, and multifocal lenses. So everything works, and then you decide depending on the which one you want to. Now, this particular paper, I would like to bring it when it comes to soft contact lens, or why you want to have or what plus you should give. They tried all different +1, +2, +3 soft contact lenses with a peripheral defocus theory. they realize that plus 3.5 is the lens which gives a myopic defocus. Plus 3 gives just a borderline. So you need more than plus 3 to get that myopic defocus. Their sample study was -2 to -5, -6 patients. Those are the patients they used. And they calculated what is the myopic defocus required, what is plus required. You can always do a retinoscopy at the periphery. There are some instruments, open, instruments that will actually give you the peripheral defocus, but only for the lab or scientific research you can have that kind of instrument. In your practice you don't, but you can always do a peripheral refraction and understand how much plus you need. But this particular paper talks about 3.5, and here we have to plus 6. All the soft contact lenses which are there in the market are not more than plus 3. So that is why the limitation. Yes. Okay. So that is why you either go with Ortho Keratology, or this is my personal opinion. Okay, I'm nothing against with any soft lenses, but if you want to achieve that, if you want non-invasive, then spectacle, 360-degree bifocal. If you are comfortable, you know how to fit Ortho K, then Ortho K is best. See, I have fitted Ortho K for 4-year-old also, right? But then the parents were motivated. They understand what is what, and they are the one who are going to take care of insertion, removal, hygiene, etc. If they are not compliant, there are some patients who say no, we are not ready. So give them 360-degree bifocal. So that is what you can do, and you can design that plus addition lenses. So lens is 65 mm diameter. Depending on the frame, you can cut it and fix it. If you want, you can decenter the optics also. If you tell the lab, it can happen. It is scratch resistance, anti-glare, and polycarbonate, because it is made in the USA. It has to be polycarbonate if you are prescribing to children's. But if you want, because of the scratch resistance is not that good in polycarbonate, maybe you can go for Travex. The cost is little more, but you can customize it depending on your need. So, of course, you are seeing the lens. Okay, so this is the video, basically how it looks. So center zone is for the distance. That zone also you can increase or decrease. I would say not go more than 20. But if you go smaller, usually 5 is okay. Base is smaller, and you need, and it is normally we calculate that at 12 millimeter, right? The smaller face, it is less, so you want that peripheral defocus to happen, so you need that. I suggest about 15 mm at 5H. If it is 6, then go 16 mm, 7, 17 mm, like that. You keep on increasing, maximum 20 mm. That is what I suggest. Okay, this is how the real picture looks like. That's her son. uh, it doesn't look bad, it doesn't look cosmetically, because it's almost invisible. You saw the lens in hand, right? So it is quite comfortable. In fact, more myopia, we have that edge thick. Here there is a plus, so it is in fact thinner edge. So this is a new concept that I'm trying to put in. The NRI is a near infrared. It is not proven. There is a lot of talk going on about red light. Okay, so what we did is only 40 lux, which will get converted into 650 microns. Okay, now this is inverted D. Cryptop bifocal is also possible. Also, we are not using double D. You may not use, because there is a distance of but particularly the D. So, of course, let's go one back. Because this is important. So we believe this in our technology, that we give guarantee in 1 year the progression will not happen more than 0.75 diopters. Okay, if it happens in 12 months, we'll replace the chin lenses. Now, saying so, I know some children will cross that because of that slope. You know, they are more at a risk. They already had myopia for minus, say maybe 3-4 years, and then you are trying to put a brake. So they may exceed, but we'll still give that. You replace that after 12 months, and then it will stop, or we'll have a minimum axial length elongation. So the other, like Hoya also is offering same 0.75, but for 12 months, 6 months. So if you say in 1 year, they expect to change by 1.5, which is like in normal case also it increases -1, and they're saying 1.5. So they're not still believing in their technology. We believe in our technology, and that's why we are offering you this guarantee. So dispensing is most important in this case, right? I've seen, because now I've traveled to Surat, Vadodara, Ahmedabad, and different places. Many places have no clue on centration. They don't know how to measure IPD. So if you get these lenses and don't match the IPD and the centration, it's not going to work, right? So one has to understand how to measure, how to dispense. Uniocular PD, binocular PD, the distance, segment height, all those things has to be considered when you're offering. Like progressive addition lenses, it won't work just you fix it into the center. Like you take so many measurements, then only it will work. And even after taking so many measurements, it doesn't work. You still have to do little adjustment, right? So this is same kind of thing. So you have to measure, you have to understand. Pentoscopic tilt is also important in this case. The size of shape of the frame is also important. You cannot just get a larger or bigger frame, not smaller. So selection.
Thing which happens in an optical outlet.
Yeah, they go with the fashion.
पेशंटचं आई वडील असतात त्यांना आमच्या मुलाला
ते आवडतच नाही.
नाही आमच्या मुलीला ना तुमची ती ह्याची कॅटाईची फ्रेम पाहिजे पण there are some things की आम्हाला एक प्लस पॉवर आहे मायनस पॉवर आहे जाळी होणार नाही.
Correct. So that has to be.
रोशन बनवायचं मुलाला.
No, but that is a fact. So that is where it comes. Like you are not dispensing a glass, you are dispensing a treatment. No, then you don't give that guarantee. See, the moment you say, if you don't follow my rules, then it's up to you. Then you see, right now also you are giving, right?
Yes.
ठीक है बाबा घे तुला काय पाहिजे ते. But then you are not responsible. But here you make them understand this is what it is. It's a treatment. Then they will follow. Dispensing tips again. You are experienced optician, but this also makes a lot of difference. If it is not fitting properly, child will get headache, and it will blame it on the glasses. But actually, yeah, yes. So use the calculator in your practice. I'll give you one sample copy, and it's already on the website. You can download it. Make a copy of that in front of the patient. You make a case paper, put those points, and actually let them know, right? All the medical field, there are some tests, and they will give some numbers, like whether in this range you are high diabetic, in this range you are normally, in this range hypoglycemic. So same way here, you give them what are the risk of myopia progression or risk of myopic morbidity, and accordingly you can plan, right? Positive power dose, again you decide. If it is less, then give +4. I will never say +3, because just now we saw it doesn't work. So at least give +4. If you think no, it is a mid range, he may exceed more than +5. And if you are sure it's like a high myo is going to progress, give +6 full dose, right? And of course you combine with the atropine. Distance zone, as I said, 5 years of age, 15, and increase it 111 mm till the age of 12. Maximum is 20. Don't go beyond that. Even at the age of 15, 16, 18, you are doing 20. This is what I was talking about, red light, therapy. So this is repeated low level. So the Chinese people have come up with some instrument, and you are supposed to sit there for 3 minutes. If you do it more, it will cause harm. Okay, so you have to be careful with that. And but this can be done, like she's doing red light therapy for treating the vision and the imbalances on a daily basis, because she's a vision therapist. See, we are also not very much well versed with vision therapy. It's a new thing coming up, and it is working miracles. In spend few hours, you'll see people. That day we saw that child. she came up with a divergent, and they were not, sure. Even we were not sure whether she, in 15 minutes, half an hour, her eyes were straight, just with 1 hour of exercise. So it works fantastic. So coming back to red light therapy, as I said, what I'm trying to do is using the same mobile phone as a red light conversion. Now you'll say mobile phone gives only 40 lux. It's not stronger light, right? But my theory is, how long do you look at mobile phones? Like, I'll give an example. Okay, if I'm holding something like a bottle of water or something, how much is the weight? You said only 300 grams. But it depends on how long I hold it. Right? If I hold it for 1 hour, then it's like a 300 kg. I have to drop it down. So same thing, if you're using mobile phone for, if you check your mobile phone, there is a screen time. Definitely more than 2 hours. Right? All the children are on mobile phone. More than 2-3 hours. Right? Whatever they're studying or playing, whatever, but they are using that. So why not? First thing will happen is it will cut blue light. Okay. Second is it will convert that light into helpful red light. See, red light, how it works is it generates a ATP response. The ATP is formed and it will generate more and more of a mitochondrions. That means more cells will produce. And that is why they use it on the skin, wrinkles, the head, the scalp, the hairs. It is being used in the profession. It is not been actually tried and tested scientifically, but it works. Okay, so same thing we are using right now. It means that it's an option. Of course, here you don't give that +4 diopters of atom. Here you have to give +1, +1.5 depending on the age. If you are doing it for the children, then just give +0.5, +1, not more than that. Yes, if you want to give red light therapy, defocus is a different. We talked about different thing. This we are talking about a red light therapy now. Okay, so maybe if you are a smart optician, you can give that plus defocus lens, myopia lenses for myopia control. And if the child wants to still work on a mobile phone, sell the same patient this glass with a less addition with a red tint. Okay, that is more control, more effective. But this can be used for age-related macular degeneration, patients with those retinal issues, any other retinal problems. ARMD साठी चालेल. Because the theory is like it is healing. It is healing, right? Yeah, suppression also can be given. So you use your knowledge, and see, we have been giving red contact lenses, right, for so many other reasons. X-ray lenses.
It's because majority X-chromes are taking red color. Yeah, it is. Yeah.
We have been prescribing since many years. It works in a lot of patients. So red light works. We know that. Only nobody has come up with the proper papers. Now there will be some paper. Even I have written one basic paper in myopia review in American journal. Now I'm doing a lot of other studies, and even now we'll be calibrating exactly how much dose, how much strength, and what is the effect. So it will happen. Maybe another 2-3 years, the papers will start coming in. But now the technology is here. Previously, like when I still remember that 360-degree myopic defocus, I proposed in one of the BOA conferences. That time I said, okay, take a plus lens, make a hole, and put it from the backside. Okay, it was just the idea. It was not practical to stick that plus lens. But now that I'm in US, I got some good connections, contacts, and I could now design these lenses. That is how I could come up with this lens. Okay, technology was not there, so we used to give bifocal, executive bifocal or PAL. Now you have 360-degree bifocal available. Why not give that? Because this is the superior design. So you can use whatever is available and describe. So in summary, use some scoring system to understand what is the risk for that particular patient. Depending on the severity, you advise bifocal severity as well as economics. Right? Whether they can afford, not afford. Not everybody can go with that. So at least start something. Give them some bifocal, some dual focus treatment. Okay, maybe bifocal, maybe executive PAL, or a contact lens, a soft lens, or Ortho K, whatever works for that particular. And of course, you can always combine with a low dose atropine. So to order these lenses comes from US, myokido@gmail.com. And as I said, get the warranty of that. If the number progresses beyond 0.75, in 12 months, but you have to prove that with K1, K2, axial length, and refraction before and after. Okay, then if you have those records, then only you can claim the warranty. And as I said, it has a 86% success rate, one-to-one consultation. So every case, if you have any issues, anything, you can share with the company, and they will give you the proper guidance. Ultimately, you are the boss. You will decide what to prescribe. We'll just give you the help with deciding what is required. Okay. Of course, when you it's a commercial thing, you'll get a display. Your website will be mentioned on the company's website, so that people will know where is the nearest Myopia center and all. So that will be there. Now, this is one particular very important video I want to share.
Hello, I am Dr. Quresh Maskati, past president of the All India Ophthalmological Society, and I'm here to tell you a little bit about myopia management in this modern era. With the COVID-19 pandemic hitting us, most of our children have been forced to sit in front of screens of various sizes. Myopia has shot up, and I feel that we now have to look beyond single vision myopia spectacles. I am very happy with the myopia management system, which gives you a central focusing lens, irrespective of whatever the child's prescription may be, cylinder, spherical, and a peripheral good area 360 degrees of plus number, so that you can avoid the defocus which causes the myopia to increase. In fact, my first patient has been my granddaughter, age 7 years, with a -1, and I'm very happy with the results. I would recommend that all eye care practitioners examine their children closely, look at the risk factors, see whether a single parent is myopic or both are myopic, see what age the child developed myopia. The younger the child that developed it, the more likely it will progress faster, and accordingly decide the amount of peripheral plus to be done. Of course, the manufacturers will be more than happy to assist you in a dialogue to decide what is best for your patient. But at the end of the day, my take-home message would be, let us all stop prescribing single vision lenses and go in for something like the myopia management system. Thank you.
Now is the time to help our patient, because these are our generation. Yes. Dr. Mir is also, encouraged me that, this is because principally it works. In reality, now it depends on so many factors how you do. Okay, I may give the lenses, and then if the child doesn't wear it for 2-3 hours or more, then it's not going to work, right? And initial, like, it will take about a week or two to get adjusted, because they have been using single vision glasses. Now suddenly to switch over to these glasses will need little adaptation, but they will get used to it. Okay. So, any questions? There are a lot of references. They are all there on my website if you want to go. Myakido.com. Myakido.com is the website. Okay.
कनेक्शन द्यायचं अपेक्षा आपण डिओक्रोम टेस्ट वापरतो त्याच्यामध्ये आपण रेड बेटर
Correct. That is the gold standard. Yes, yes, yes. No undercorrection. 5.5.
ग्रीन कॅन बी बिट म्हणजे थोडंसं कमी दिसतंय बट इफ यू हर्ड व्हॉट आय फेस इन माय
बरोबर, पण ते वाचू शकलं पाहिजे ते शेवटपर्यंत. सो दॅट मीन्स यू आर एट द करेक्ट.
So there is one question on
हां, व्हॉट इज सेइंग?
Guys, the session is very controversial. Kindly let us know about the measurement for plus power prescription to cause myopia defocus.
So in general, you can prescribe +4, +5, +6 depending on the myopia risk factors. Okay, if you prescribe anything +3, it will definitely give you the myopic defocus. But if you really want to measure, then you can do a peripheral refraction. Right? You can do a peripheral refraction, like ask patient to look say 30 degree, 35-degree away, and then you do a regular refraction up, down, right, left, and you will get the exact power. So that is more accurate way to prescribe. But again, you just don't want a myopic defocus. You just don't want to bring that. You want to pull it inside. So right. So now you know. Okay, so 3.5 is required to get a myopic defocus, but this child is high risk, so you want to get that still inside, so you give +6. So that is how you decide how much addition to give. Risk factor is more important than deciding the ad zone, because it's a treatment. See, we started with a dose concept of medicine, right? How much dose you want to give, how much stronger medicine you want to give. We used to give mild antibiotic or little modern. We don't start Vicamox on every cases, right? Because that is the strongest. So here also the mild is about 3, 3.5. 4 is what I recommend because that it will actually give some effect. +5 is like more moderate, more stronger, and +6 is the strongest. Now you can have +4.5 also. You can have 5.5 also. You want to keep say 0.5 in hand for next time, like that. So that way you can decide. And see, the factors that I gave you are a generalized factors, right? You know the patient properly. You know how much time they are spending. If it is like really more, if they are really poor in maintaining all these instructions, then you can give more stronger. If they are, of course, the lens is not going to cost you more or less by change of prescription. Yeah. Right. Any other question? IPD. Huh? What is PDF? Will find the PDF, and if you have any particular question, then you can email on myokido@gmail.com. So it is there on go to myokido.com, and there is a page called references, and all the references, all the research papers are there. In the pediatric aphakic patients, same thing. You have to, yeah. If it is increasing, then see the idea is a no, no, no. No, pseudophakia is like cataract done already, and eye is already implanted. And if it is myopic, then usually they will not progress. But suppose if it is progressing, then so the principle is hyperopic defocus and myopic defocus. You have to create a myopic defocus if you want to control the axial length elongation. Now, how to use that? In what way? What glasses, contact lenses, how much strength? That is up to you as a clinician, as a practitioner, as a professional. And of course, you keep on increasing your knowledge, understand, keep a record properly so that eventually you will. That is how we say, right? It's a practice. Why? Because we are learning and trying to, of course, not only with our patient, but we are learning from the research paper. We are attending conferences and getting information from others. And then finally you decide, hey, this is what I am going to do. And then you proceed, right? Because every patient is different, every practitioner is different. Okay. Right. So, of course, again, it is not proven, but if you want to prescribe NIR lenses for age-related macular degeneration, right? So, center we have clear zone because they can see actual colors. Because when you look at mobile phones, you want to see actual colors, right? You don't want to change it. But for treatment, then you use that as a plus zone for a regular bifocal, right? Like when we give progressive addition, we want them to look through that segment to see that clearly. So same way, you that red zone, they have to see through that zone, and there you give the addition according to say 60. So you'll give plus 3, right? So give whatever is the distance, then plus 3, and that zone will be red zone. And then they have to look through that zone when they are doing a close work on a mobile phone. Right. And if it is for a myopia control, then that is not valid. Okay, because in myopia control we want them to look through the distance zone at all the time. Yes. We don't want them to look through the periphery. So that is the difference between that. So we'll stop the broadcast now, and then we'll talk. Okay. Thank you very much, those people who were online for attending. And if you have any questions, you can always